Hello and welcome to the Southern View. I'm Veera Raghav. The top focus this evening, all the action from poll-bound Telangana. Auspicious day, the penultimate day for filing of nominations to the 30th November poll to the state's 119 assembly segments. And it saw several big guns out on charge to file his nominations was BRS Chief and Chief Minister K. Chandrashekar Rao, filing his nominations at both the Gajwel and Kamma Reddy constituencies. He's the incumbent from Gajwel, his traditional seat, which he's won thrice, and his first time at Kamma Reddy, where State Congress Chief Revant Reddy is contesting against him. KCR addressed a rally after filing nominations in which he hit out at the BJP and the central government. Let's listen in first. Well, also out to file his nominations was KCR's son and State Minister KT Rama Rao from his traditional Sirsila constituency, which he is represented from 2009. But there was high drama during KTR Rama Rao's campaign after he filed his nominations at the neighbouring Armoor constituency, where he went after filing his nominations, as I mentioned. The railing of the campaign vehicle he was on collapsed, and then you had those dangerous moments. It was scary as Rama Rao, along with the candidate from Armoor, Jeevan Reddy, and the local MP Suresh Reddy, all fell from that vehicle there on those screens. That scary moments there as part of that BRS's campaign. Fortunately, they only sustained minor injuries and have resumed their campaign. Meanwhile, there was more drama. The nomination drama wasn't restricted to the KCR and KTR family. BJP candidate Nandishwar Gaud for the Patancheri seat went on a bulldozer to file his nominations, perhaps sending the message of bulldozing his opponents there in Telangana. Also, to beat the traffic, KCR's daughter and MLC Kavita K took a ride on a two-wheeler to reach the nomination of her party MLA there. Well, that's all the action from Telangana. Joining me now is my colleague Uma Sudhir from Hyderabad, who's been tracking all the developments there. Uma, no dull moment there in Telangana today.
Indeed, we had more than 600 people going in to file their nominations till just afternoon, and we are to get the updated figures from the state election office. But today is an auspicious day, we are told, and that's one reason why many candidates in fact chose to file their nominations today. And tomorrow also happens to be the last day for filing of nominations, and therefore no one wants to take any chances. So while many of them are also filing double nominations, you have people filing on their behalf, on their own name, and also their own family members also filing backup nominations just in case one nomination paper gets rejected. They don't want to take any chances. But yes, the attention was on Chief Minister K. Chandrashekar Rao as he went and filed in his nominations at Gajwel that he has of course represented the last two times. This time he is going to be challenged in a sense by Itela Rajender, who was also his finance minister and health minister in the previous governments in 2014 and in 2018 before he was removed from the party and he joined the BJP, won a by-poll. So Itela Rajender, while his, the seat that he won in a by-poll, Huzurabad, that he will be contesting, and he will also be challenging KCR, hoping to emerge as a Suvendu Adhikari here in Telangana. The second seat that KCR, for some mysterious reason, has decided to also contest from Kamma Reddy. That's where Telangana's Congress chief Revant Reddy is going to be challenging him. He of course also has his original seat at Kodangal, but he's also coming in to say that yes, I'm coming there to challenge you. He's challenging the chief minister straight, saying that I had asked him to come to Kodangal. If he doesn't come to me, I'm going to come to him and challenge him. Back to you, Veera.
Right, interesting, Uma. In fact, that battle is very interesting there at both Gajwel and Kamma Reddy. KCR remains the tallest political figure in Telangana, but this election would perhaps be the biggest test of KCR as that image of the father of Telangana movement that he's portrayed himself, the champion who got Telangana. This would be the election that tests that image after 2 terms of anti-incumbency, right?
Absolutely, because KCR has fought the 2014 elections and 2018 elections, both on the plank of Telangana pride and saying that I am the tallest leader, someone who is a son of the soil, who has not just got you a Telangana, which was an impossible dream for you. I dreamt about it, I worked towards it, and I got you this Telangana, fighting with what he calls the national parties who have their bosses in Delhi and in Andhra Pradesh. So he would make the villains from Delhi and in Andhra Pradesh. And this time, once again, if you thought that yes, they're mainly using the development plank or 10 years of performance that they want to showcase for the people of Telangana and saying that that's why you must vote in a KCR, they realize that may not be good enough, and that's one reason why once again Congress becomes that party which is controlled by Delhi. And again you have an Andhra villain in a Sharmila, in a Pavan Kalyan, and also trying to say that the BJP has always been a Delhi-based party. So in that sense, trying to score a hat-trick, KCR has a challenge in Gajwel and Kamareddy as well. So will he be able to spend as much time touring the rest of the state? We also saw, of course, KT Rama Rao today, that unfortunate accident, that visuals of which you just played out. Right. And the risks of campaigning quite high. KCR himself has been using a chopper, and at least on a couple of times it has developed some snags. The pilot, in fact, flew about 10 minutes and came back just a couple of days ago. And Revanth Reddy also using the chopper because he becomes the most important campaigner for the Congress in Telangana, other than the star campaigners from elsewhere. So he's also started using a chopper, and we are told his chopper had also once developed a trouble. And yes, KTR on the road itself facing that kind of, very often, as we have all been, we have all experienced in our election campaign reporting, very often there is that risk of the crowds, the vehicles, and you could fall off these campaign vehicles, and that's precisely what happened today when KTR and his, the MLA candidate Jeevan Reddy as well as MP Mr. Suresh fell off, and fortunately nothing more than minor injuries, and they continued in fact with their campaign. Back to you.
Right, Uma, yes, as you point out, as journalists, as a lot of us, when we try to get that soundbite, it's an extremely scary proposition. Speeds, just look at that video. The speed at which the convoy is traveling, and the policeman there, in fact, running in reverse direction, trying to chase people away, and then suddenly that thing collapses. Fortunately, the vehicle braked. It's an extremely scary exercise there, as Uma points out. Fortunately, they're all safe, only with minor injuries, and have resumed campaigning. In fact, a couple of days ago, Uma had spoken to KT Rama Rao about campaigning when he referred to how politicians make clowns of themselves over the 30 days of election campaigning at that point of time. Let's just listen to that interview that Uma did with KT Rama Rao before going back to Uma to discuss more about Andhra politics and Telangana politics.
How do you keep up this interest and look as though you're as agitated, as passionate about what you're saying?
Well, I'm not agitated. I'm actually quite relaxed, and we're going to win the election. But the good thing is, you're in such a hectic schedule that you forget, counting the dates and counting, sometimes I even forget that it's Sunday, etc. So it's a fun ride. I mean, what's life without some thrill, right? It's fun.
Okay, what's your day looking like? Because all the time, obviously, you are 24/7 connecting with people, and are elections really the toughest time for a politician?
I don't have a word for this in English, but in Telugu we have a word called prahasanam, meaning it's a
charade.
It's a charade. So therefore, I believe people have made up their mind. People actually decide way ahead of time. They know who to vote for. They've decided.
So life as a politician is something that you chose. Obviously, you gave up something else to come here. How is your day looking like now, right now? And I would also ask you, this is all about palace intrigue and what's happening here, what's happening there. As someone who sits in the power, in a center of power, it's very difficult for you to get genuine feedback, isn't it?
It is very difficult, but social media helps. In fact, a lot of times social media kind of really acts as a very, very nice balancing tool, which gives you direct, unadulterated feedback. Of course, abuse as well. But very, very interesting. But now we have agencies which actually give you quite solid feedback, as in like survey agencies that give you,
They don't tell you what you want to hear?
Oh, they do. That's the beauty of the system, that they are very in your face, and especially the new age guys who don't believe in kind of sucking up to you. They actually tell you right onto your face what you don't want to hear.
What is it you hate about politics?
Mediocrity. A lot of mediocrity. A lot of lot of mediocrity that you have to deal with, knowing fully well. I mean, I'm not saying I'm somebody who's superior or anything, but there's a lot of mediocrity which should not be there. Unfortunately, it is there, inbuilt, ingrained into the system. So,
The wife is someone who may possibly want you being quite busy.
no, actually, I told her that when I joined politics, I did promise her that there would be vacations and things like that. But of course, I haven't lived up to that promise. Not as many as she would like or I would like. But unfortunately, that's the life we choose. So, yes, in fact, 2014, one secret that I've probably not let out anywhere else. I almost called it quits because, we were supposed to merge into Congress. And I decided, because Congress is a party that I can't see myself in. I never could and I never will. So,
But you as a family went to Sonia Gandhi's house.
we went to thank her. Yes, we did. And then, fortunately for us, she did not, because of some vagaries of, I can explain it at length at a later point, but this is a fun interview, so let's keep it that way.
No, but people are very curious because all the time that comes up, your photograph with the family, and then that is something that your dad is actually criticized for, saying that, he went and he thanked her and then he betrayed her.
No, there was no betrayal as such. He merely asked Mrs. Gandhi as to what would happen to the fate of about 60, 70 odd leaders that he had groomed, whether she would be giving them tickets or not. She was very non-committal. She said, please talk to Digvijay. And Mr. Singh was equally non-committal. He said, pehle aap aa jao, baad mein dekhte hain. And our leader is a man who's, true to his word, because, people fought with him, who sailed with him for 14 years, put in their blood, sweat and money and everything else into their fortunes and their future. He couldn't abandon them just like that. So he insisted. He said, what would happen to them? Please give me a number. As in, because Congress is a party that is known for not keeping promises. So he insisted. He said, please let me know. Unfortunately, they were very, very non-committal and evasive. So, and he went and met with Mr. Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, asked him the same question. There was no answer. So it was not a betrayal of any kind. In fact, if anything, it was the Congress which kind of mistreated him, ill-treated him.
Okay. Finally, this is an exam, board exam for which you're preparing, and somebody else writes the answers on the 30th of November. But is it really for any politician the most tense time ever?
It is tense, but the thing is, I'm quite calm and composed because I don't look at politics and, elections as a life or death battle. There are only two outcomes. You win or you lose. I might sound arrogant and cocky when I say this, but in my own case, where I run from in Sirsila, I take it, take it in my stride, and I tell my people as well. I say to them, that if I win, I'll serve. If I lose, I'll rest, and I'll probably get more rest. So be it. If people don't want me, that's fine.
That's actually the same language that your dad uses.
No, the thing is, in his case, he's achieved so much that he can afford to say it. And in my case, I don't think I should be saying it, and my people don't like me saying it. But that's my attitude. I tell them, listen, if people want me, they'll vote for me. If people don't want me, they'll throw me out any which way. So why not?
Another of those interesting characters in Indian politics, KT Rama Rao, came back from the US, contested in 2009. Uma, between 2010 and 14, he was very active with journalists in Delhi. That was the time of negotiations after YSR Reddy's passing away, KCR's fast, and then the whole Telangana movement erupting there. Leading up to 2014, you did address some of those delicate questions of the relationship with the Congress just before the formation of the state. A delicate chapter in BRS's history. It was called Telangana Rashtriya Samiti then, remember. Have you been able to speak to Ram after the fall, or any of the MPs or the MLAs after that incident there in Amur?
KT Rama Rao, I can tell you, is not wasting any time. Whenever he's not giving interviews, he seems to be campaigning, and that's what precisely he is doing. But yes, they have in fact put out these kind of public responses to say that I'm doing okay, I'm back on my campaign trail, and I'm not going to waste one day of it either. So Suresh Reddy, who is the MP of the BRS, he has also said that it's only a minor cut that he has suffered and that they are doing fine. But what I must point out is that Telangana, of course, the youngest state of India, and every time elections come up here, it is a question of who gets credit for Telangana. That comes up, whether it is Sonia Gandhi, for who I must say the people of Telangana do have a lot of regard, or is it KCR, who claims to be the son of the soil, who managed to get that for Telangana. And now the challenge in these elections is to say, when we say, Nidhilu, Niyamakalu, and Neelu, Nidhilu, Niyamakalu, we say, which is water, resources and jobs. These are the three critical things on which the debate is going on. And if it was the debate in 2014 when the state was formed, even in 2023 the elections are going to happen, once again this is what is the debate. Jobs becoming a big challenge for the chief minister and his men to answer, because they do put out the numbers saying that we have done the maximum numbers, but they do realize that the perception is that they have not done enough on that front, and therefore challenges of the same questions which when Telangana was born, 10 years later, similar questions once again. Back to you.
That's right, Uma. In fact, the Congress was extremely confident in 2014 that it created Telangana and it will win. But then KCR proved them wrong, and he's proved them wrong again in 2019. Can he do it again, or will anti-incumbency catch up? It's a fascinating contest there, which we'll keep track of on the 30th of November. Remember, Telangana goes to vote for the 119 assembly seats. But thank you so much, Uma, for joining us.